Let me see. The problem is with YouTube is that if you go live, it takes forever to register for some reason. For some reason, nobody knows. All right. Beautiful Saturday evening. How is everybody doing? Come on in. Welcome to the office. Welcome. What is up? Osama Ibrahim, of course. Terry Prifty. Lars. What's going on? What's good today? We have ChatGPT open, of course. Let's do some postings on Twitter and, of course, on Discord. And if you're basically not yet subscribed, hey, you know what to do. Consider subscribing to the channel. Give me a thumbs up. Leave some questions in the comments or some junk, so the algorithm thinks it's popular. And jump into the Discord community. All right, let's press enter. Yo. Publish. Confirm. Yeah. All right, so let me see the chat here. What's going on? Something fucked up. I'm gonna lie. All right, code links. Well, on here, on a little bit, going to see if this makes sense to make my portfolio site with. I'm gonna tell you something right now. It's gonna make sense, and I can guarantee you that. I swear to God. Rashad Salim, hi boss, how's the Christmas days going? Hope you're enjoying it. A matter of fact, I do. Man, this light is, I don't know, I'm crying. Yeah, Christmas is one of my favorite times of the year. Not gonna lie, it's amazing. People are complaining about the low volume sometimes. I don't know what it is, man. I'm talking in the red already. So yeah. My max sound is 100%. What the going on? Okay, let's fix this real quick. What's going on here? Man, I'm a noob. You need to understand that. We can't. Can I do filters here? Edit a couple filters here. You see, this is basically an open heart surgery right now. The output gain. Actually, I have a gain here. Let's do this. 5. This should be better, isn't it? Test 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Welcome everybody to the stream, and today we're gonna do amazing things with Go, HTMX, and Templ. We're gonna make a new framework completely from scratch. Yes, that's what we're gonna do. So we can, because it's needed, right? You're gonna see why. Is this better, Teddy? Can you confirm here the mic gain a little bit? I lost my settings actually not so long ago. And I don't know what's going on. I need a new mic. This is a Trust mic. It's good, but it's not the best. So I need a Shure mic. I cannot, because I'm already talking in the red yellowish on my Streamlabs. So the problem is that if I gonna gain the output, it's going to clip. It's going to distort. I don't know why that is. I have no fucking clue. I need to fix it. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. All right. Yeah, so first things first, right? So first, I'm gonna explain you something here in Excalibur, right? So, because people are always asking, why are you using Echo? Why are you using Fiber? What's going on? Let me show you something real quick before we start. It's very... I need to record first. Let me wait a little bit here. Okay, cool. Yes. So now I need to basically do it again, because I can maybe clip this and then put it on YouTube. I don't know. We're gonna see. So basically, people are asking me, yo, Echo, Fiber, Jin, what the hell do I need to use? Well, I'm gonna explain you something for once and for all, right? And yeah. So basically, let's say we have this one. It's gonna be Echo here, right? The Echo framework. Like this, right? I'm gonna copy this real quick, and then we're gonna start speed coding this thing up, right? Then we have Jin here, and maybe I can paste the... What's going on here? What the hell is that? Maybe a private key or something, you know, from my bitcoins that I don't own. Echo, Jin, and then we have Fiber, right? One of the 3 most important things. So basically, first of all, these things are abstractions over Web HTTP, right? Non-opinionated lightweight frameworks, right? That's what they are. And they actually do all 3 of them the same. unless Fiber is a bit different, because Fiber is not quite as compatible with the standard library, HTTP handler shenanigans, response request stuff. Do we care? Sometimes we do. Sometimes we don't. Sometimes we don't. For my other projects, for example, the SSL tracker I made with templates, but not Templ, but just like it was a Django template extension, we used Fiber. Why? Because Fiber has an option that Echo and Gin doesn't have, and it's the pass locals to views, which is basically going to pass locals you set in the middleware directly to the views, which is super handy if you want to do templating stuff. Yeah, but besides that, they all do the same fucking thing, right? They do a func. What the hell's going on here? They do a func. The hell is this? They do a func C context. What the hell is that? This actually, guys, what am I doing here? It's actually too large. They do a func context. Hey. Okay, this is garbage. What's going on here? Func context error, right? That's what they do. all of them, right? All of them, the same thing, ish, kind of ish. But what they do not do is give people an opinionated way to do things, right? And if you want to do things fast and you don't want to think about how to structure, how to do this, how to do that, yada 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 yada, you want something opinionated. That's why Django, Ruby, Laravel are so popular in building startups, because you can just ship fast, fail fast, and iterate fast, right? Okay. What's going on here? Whatever you choose, it's going to be the same thing, right? Performance-wise, maybe Fiber is a little bit better, but that's also why they are not compatible with the standard library stuff most of the time, because they use something else under the hood. But besides that, they are performance. They're all performing better than all these other frameworks on the market, right? They perform better than Ruby, PHP, and all that bullshit, right? Okay, that's that. So what we're gonna build is we're gonna build something new. We use Slick. I don't know why. People say it's a garbage name. I agree, but hey, I need to be fast, you know what I mean? And actually, we're gonna do something slick, isn't it? Gin handler doesn't return errors. Okay, so that's already a red flag, right? Gin, you don't use it. Why? Because the handler does not return an error, and that's actually one of the most important things, in my opinion. Is your handler needs to return an error, because that gives you the flexibility to return custom errors and handle all your errors if you want, but most of the time you will handle them in a centralized place where you can switch based on the type of error you returned, because error in Golang is an interface. Okay? So yeah, so now we're gonna write that completely from scratch. Why? Because we cannot wrap I need to bump up the font in it. Let me open up here settings real quick. Boom, boom, boom. Go down. Press 2 here. Press save. Open up full screen. Close this thing. Boom, and we're gone. Do you have such a good? Why do you have such a good skill set? Yada yada yada. I don't know, man. It's like I'm too old. If you're the same age as me, you're gonna be as skilled as it's just aging. You know what I mean? It's like a steak. The longer it stays aging, it's just better. You know what I mean? You also pay more for that steak. That's what companies also do. Right? I'm an aged piece of Agnus beef. You know what I mean? From the best cow in the world. Okay, so we're gonna do this. We're gonna first do main.go. No, that's not true. We're gonna make slake.go. If somebody comes up with a better name, and let me know in the comments, by the way. And the winner will be, yeah, the framework is gonna be called just like you want. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. But for now, it's slick, right? Package slick here. The first thing we need to do is what we're gonna do, guys, is we are gonna base our framework on HTTP router. Why? Because that's what. Because it's one of the fastest routers. I think it's a zero allocation router also, and Gen is also based on that, and a couple other frameworks also based on this router. We don't want to we don't want to mess with routers, guys. We just don't want to do that. So I'm gonna do here, I'm gonna copy this thing. Blind homies, go mod init github.com/ndm/slick, press enter, copy, god fucking damn it, and then we do go get here, press enter, call it a day, right? Boom, fine. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna make a type slick, of course, which is gonna be a structure like this. Yeah. Then we're gonna do a router inside of here. You're gonna say HTTP routers, just like that. Why are you knowing that? Because I made already a framework, a couple in my life. You know what I mean? Type slick, struct router, yada yada. That's what we need. The next thing we need is also a type handler. Func. I'm gonna zoom till 3, guys. I never do this, but today I'm gonna zoom 3 times for the blind homies. That's gonna be a C context pointer, yes, and an error. That's what we want. And the magic is gonna happen in this context because we're gonna use Templ, HTMX, and sometimes you need to do some stuff able to make it work. And if you're using Echo, Gin, Fiber, and all that stuff, you need to wrap things around, and you need to do a lot of things, man. We don't want to do that. We just want it needs to be easy. Why people love Golang, but it just, for web development, it just does not, you know what I mean? It's like you have almost sex, but it does not happen. Because people are making all these unopinionated frameworks with do it yourself, but we don't want to do it ourselves. Do you understand? I mean, how hard is it? We just want to press some buttons and everything works. That's what we want to do. So we can open up our bank accounts and receive money instead of thinking about stuff. Context. So we need a context here. The question is where we're going to place it. We can actually reorder that thing later on. So we're going to make context, which is also going to be a structure, right? That's going to have a response. Actually, we're going to privatize this, which is going to be an HTTP response. Yeah, writer. And then we're going to copy this. We're going to make this request, so it's already compatible with the standard library, right? Check. There's going to be a pointer here. Request, right? We also need, I don't know. We're going to see. Oh, we're going to make it super good. We're going to say CTX, which is going to be the context.context from Golang. Easy peasy. Now we are triple compatibility, you know what I mean? Okay, the next thing we're going to do is func new. Yeah, new here to construct a new slick. And we're going to return this slick thing. Just like that. Actually, I cannot type because I'm thinking too much what I need to do. It's like... Bro has the weirdest analogies. Yeah, no man. I'm known for 2 things. I won the Nobel Prize for simplification, and I'm making analogies that basically, yeah, based on my own experiences. You know what I mean? So we're gonna say that the router is gonna be HTTP routers new. Actually, to be honest, just like that, and we call it a day, right? Then we're gonna say func this as pointer slick. Couple things. Let's do get. We could also do get like echo, but like, I mean, yeah. It's gonna be a path. It's gonna be a string, and then we're gonna. Then we need our handler, right? Not the other one. And here's gonna be some middleware. The question rather is. Allee, Anthony, ik wou het zelf doen. Manuel Lopez! I'm so sorry, man. I know, but it needs to happen. Hey, you can always join the Discord and hook me up, and yeah. Demonware, I don't really understand. You do everything in a day, such as going to the gym, coding, but yet I have so much left. How do you plan all of this? Be free. Just be free, right? If you're free, you can do whatever you want when you want, right? And if you're free, you can basically allocate your time in the time span you're actually the most productive. So instead of working 8 hours, instead of doing stuff in 8 hours, you can do it in less, you know, and also have no life. Okay, so we need middleware. How are we gonna do that? We're gonna do it in middleware func. God fucking damn it. Actually, to be honest, we can actually do it a placeholder. I'm gonna call this handle func. Actually, why can't we not just use handlers? Okay, we're gonna do a placeholder here, guys, because this is gonna be a point. I'm gonna call this plugs. Handlers, just like that, and it's gonna return nothing, right? So that's that. But the thing is, as router get path. That's not true. What we're gonna, that's true. Actually, to be honest, what we need to do is this: func make HTTP router handler. I want to go fast because I want to do the cool stuff, right? This is just boring stuff. And we can fill up the gaps later on. All these abstractions, set header get response, yada 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 yada. We can do that later on, right? That's not a big of a deal. That's easy peasy. So we're gonna give us a handler, which is our handler. We also need, it's fine, HTTP router dot handle. That basically means that this is going to be handle, right? So we're going to wrap decorate this function, func. Actually, what is this thing? I have no fucking clue. Response request params. Okay, cool. W. Response writer r pointer HTTP request slice HTTP params router params. Press enter, double check, that's good, make it a function. If R is gonna be or handler, actually that's not true. C TX is going to be so this is where we're going to optimize. I think we can pool this context. I think we're going to pool the context. Maybe we're going to use Golang arenas for this context. I think here can be some optimization that's never been done before. Why? Because I don't think they thought about it, or yeah. There's going to be a context. Not this context, my man. So, because you need to understand, each time there's a request, we're going to make this, we're going to allocate this pointer to a context. But what if we have a pooling of contexts, right? Let's say we have 1,000 contexts, and then we're going to cycle through them to release the pressure on the garbage collector. Do you speak Spanish, Anthony? No. Transportar la cocaína del aeropuerto. De la corazón, de la calipo, de la caliente. Something like that. You know, I do my best, guys. I mean, context. So we need to have this response, right? And we also copy this request like this. Why is typing not working? Yeah. This is going to be W, R, press enter, and then we have the context of Golang, standard library context. So we're going to do context background. Later on, we're going to make a request ID. We're going to put that inside of here, right? Just like in Ruby on Rails. Then we're going to put this context inside of this boy, assert the errors while handling, right? And we're going to say errors, handlers, errors. Actually, to be honest, it's a func. Type func errors ctx context pointer. Maybe an error. That would actually be a little bit weird, right? If you have an error handler that actually returns an error. So who's gonna handle the error? Maybe it is. What do you think, guys? Should this return that? So we're gonna have the option here for slick errors. Yeah, let's make it private. It's going to be an error handler, and then we're going to say the error handler. We need a default error handler. Yeah. Func default errors handlers errors c pointer context errors return null slog info error, error, error. This is insane. What's going on here? What do I miss here? Return null. What the hell is this? Unreachable code. Huh? Oh yeah, it's because this thing. Yeah. Yeah, it's fine. Default error handlers. Call it a day. Okay, cool. So what we're gonna do is this, right? So we're gonna say, shit, we need to have this on the slick object, right? As pointer slick this, and then we're gonna say as error handler, the error here, and then ctx. I'm him. I know, right? That's what we're gonna do. Of course, this is gonna return an error again. To do, handle the error from the error handler. Huh? I think Anthony from Italy. No, I'm from Belgium, guys. I'm from Belgium. My brain is not working on the zoom level. Is that true? Well, now we zoom it a little bit out for the good homies. The good seeing homies. Okay, so now we have make HTTP router handler. So now we can say pat make s make HTTP router handler handlers. Look at that. Beautiful. So can we actually test some? Can we just already boot this thing up and make it good? I have no clue. Of course we can't because let's make a playground folder. So the goal is that we're also going to generate the whole shebang, right? So that the user does not need to do anything. You can just generate an app and everything works out of the bat, right? So let's make app here just to mock this thing. What's going on here? New file. Main not go. Package. Main. Func. Main. Do this real quick. Fast as possible, right? And again, for the people that are basically not yet subscribed, guys, consider subscribing. I love you all. Join the Discord so we can have fun. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so we're going to say s is going to be, or app, right? It's going to be an slick new, right? Boom. Press enter. App.get func handle profile handle user profile c pointer slick context errors. Boom boom. We're gonna return nil for the sake of right now, just like that. App get slash profile, just like that, and then we're gonna say here handle user profile. Handle user profile. Press enter. App.start. What are we gonna do, guys? Are we gonna use start or listen? I mean, I think start, right? We're gonna say start, and then we're gonna give it a port 3000 because we can. But start doesn't exist. God damn it. Then we do, actually we can copy this, paste that in, do this, and then basically make this start, delete everything inside of this, make it an error, and then also give it a port. What's going on here? Maybe an address, actually. Makes no fucking sense, right? Let's call port because that's what we do, right? String, and then we're gonna say HTTP, actually return HTTP listen and serve port as router. Press enter, call it a day. Cool. The next thing we're gonna do is also so I think we're gonna have a view folder. So we're gonna generate that, right? So you're gonna do slick new to do, and it's gonna generate the whole fucking shebang. I think views. Press enter, right? We're gonna make a new folder. We're gonna call this profile. Press enter. We're gonna make a new file. Index.templ. Press enter. Of course, we don't have Templ. Damn. How do we install that? Templ. Press enter. I reject everything, mother. Why is this even white? What's going on? can I actually import this? See, I hate this. I want to have a copy-paste install. That's what I want. Actually, I don't, because I already installed this. Package. Profile. Templ. Index. Let's do no argumentos. Let's do something like an h1 user profile page. Do h, close this, call it a day. Don't think we can. I think we need to install we don't. It's probably my my Templ thingy that's broken. Because yeah, so that's why we actually need to rewrite this framework, a new one. Why? Because we're gonna do something else. We're gonna actually open up the context here, and what we're gonna do is func c pointer context. Holy crap, what's that? That's my own fault. I'm not using the real Vim. So c context render. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna say component. That's gonna be a Templ components. But the thing is, you see that I needed that. You see that I needed that. Can we please just get this, man? VS Code, you suck. Anthony, you're clicking with your mouse, yeah. So you deserve every problem that is encountering. We're gonna make this an error. Look at that. This is where the beauty is. This is, like I said, I'm him. Oh, we have to double C here. That's annoying, actually. Component, then whatever. We're gonna say return component. No, that's not what we want. We want a components render. No. CTX. Beautiful. Because now, what I'm gonna do is C. I'm gonna return. That's why you have these handlers with return. You're gonna say C render. Actually, that's not true. You're gonna say return profile dot index. No, we're gonna say C render profile index and call it a day. Okay, go run app main.go. Press enter. Weavebox. We need that because I want to do some stuff. That's the thing that I wrote 20 years ago, 10 years, 8 years ago. Localhost 3000. Okay, we have profile. Okay, okay, okay. Press enter. Use the profile page. Look at that. Easy. So now we want to have, for example, let's say that's why this Templ thing is so amazing, because in other languages, PHP, in all other languages except one, you don't have statically typed templates unless you use TypeScript. But let's be honest, guys. If it's one language we don't want to write in that, it's TypeScript. Let's be honest. So let's say we're gonna have, for example, an type. Actually, guys, we're gonna. So what I'm also gonna generate here, and I need your help in the comments in the Discord. Let's join. Let's make a community. Let's build this together, right? Let's make it good. We need to think about conventions, right? So, for example, views. That's the views, right? App, new folder. I call this data, but people call this model. People call it types. What are we using? Groupbox VS Code plus Vim plus your chat. Damonware. I'm subscribed. You're just best in all tech YouTuber. Thank you so much, man. Thank you so much. So I don't know. Types, model, data, maybe domain. I don't know. So let's call it model. I don't know. I don't like this, but because model view controller. I think it's a model view handler. That's maybe better. Model view handler system. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Because actually, what we're doing is, if we don't want to call this folder model, we are using it something else, but by the end of the day, we all know what it is, right? I like models, right? Candy. Models, yeah, because people know that. So we're gonna say new file. We're gonna make this a user go boom back. Let's close this. We're gonna say package model type user struct first name. How do we write first name? Something like that. It's gonna be a string. You see, no JSON tags anymore. God, thank you. We're also gonna support JSON, so you can actually also use. If you have a mobile app or something, you know what I mean. You can. It's gonna be amazing, right? A last name maybe, and then of course we need copy paste an email, right? Okay. So the beautiful thing is that what we could do here is we can say user. Are we gonna give a pointer? Let's not do that. The thing is that I need to. Is it gonna automatically do that? Wait. That's impossible, right? That's impossible. That ain't gonna work. Of course not. Import. Yeah, so no, it's not. It's gonna. It's my fucking app. The thing is, guys, the problem is that I'm using this app folder as just a thing, a playground to test the framework directly, right? So I'm gonna put the user in profile here, so it's all gonna be fine, right? So email. So what we're gonna do, because of course now we don't have a user here. It doesn't really fucking matter, right? So we're gonna say here, what do we need? We need a profile. Actually, user is gonna be profile dot. Okay, we need to compile, I guess. Boom. Yeah, exactly, right? That's that. We're gonna call actually first. Why is it not typing thing that fast? First name Anthony, last name GG, and then an email maybe gg@gg.com, something like that, right? And then we're gonna say user here, right? Boom, just like that, easy. And then we're gonna have user email. Well, whatever. We make a new div here. Closing tags. User first name, and then paste this in. User last name. Right, easy peasy. Do we need to compile? I guess. So we need to make sure that's all happening automatically and all that stuff, right? All right, it's working. You see what I mean? Easy peasy. Oh. Yeah, the convention you should use this app, yeah, but the problem is that I'm having a main. Yeah. You could structure like pages, services, domain. Are you going to show us how to set the whole backend? That's super. So what I'm gonna do, right now it's just a live stream. We're building this thing, right? I'm gonna hope I have something usable against next week, and then I'm gonna make a YouTube video specifically on how to set that up, on how to use it, right? And then later on we can think about making something useful with it. Right? Like I said, I'm also gonna give updates on the Lavenue. We use it in Lavenue, but not the slick thingy. I'm building this based on experiences we have with building this in production. You know what I mean? And it's not. People say it's a bait. It's not a bait. I'm gonna show you soon. You know, I'm not afraid in my past streams to show you our code base, right? You know what I mean? Our React code base. I showed it, right? Why it's so bad. How fucked up that code base is because of all these hookers. It's crazy. Hooks here, hooks there, and then this and blah blah, and dependencies and npm install takes a whole fucking day. A new employee of Lavenue working on the v1 React on the next code base, right? He needs to basically press npm install, and then he can just take a vacation after one day. because it's insane, right? With all dependencies, and then he has another dependency, and it's broken, and then yeah. Oh. Ugh. Ugh. This is the basic stuff, right? That's the basic thing. So something cool that I actually want to try is how are we going to handle authentication? It's a very important aspect of having access to. This is the user, but let's say we're gonna have another page. Let's call it dashboard. Right, we have a dashboard, right? And in dashboard we have an index, which is going to be your index, your first page, right? Index, whatever. Package. So what I'm also doing right now is trying to use it already without it existing, so we can know what we need to make. You know what I mean? It's like, what the hell? Dashboard, right? Templ. Index, yeah, something like that, and then we're gonna say h1 here, dashboard page question mark, close the tags. Normally it auto closes, but something we need to fix with these Templ stuff. But hey, minor stuff, minor things. That's not an exclamation mark, my friend. That's it. Wait, so we have a problem because in our app we should have always handlers, right? People call it controllers. I don't want to call it controllers. Handlers. That's how it's going to be. So we have this profile handler actually, profile.go. So I need to do some open heart surgery here. Delete this. Paste it in here. Paste it in. What's going on here? My clipboard. Paste it in here, package handlers, press enter, save, press enter, yes. We need to change this to handlers.handle user profile. Sounds good. I don't. Are we going to do it s or r? I think her. Handler, model, view. S. God damn it. Handlers. You see, that's all. These little tiny things. We like, even myself are falling into the trap of, what should I handlers, and then you're basically questioning the existence of yourself. But it doesn't really matter, right? It's gonna happen anyway. Lucas Montero, can you abstract the Templ generate like React.js does? Yeah, we're gonna do that. We're gonna abstract all the bullshit, right? So you're just gonna press one button and everything's gonna work, right? That's the goal. Press enter here. Press enter here. Press enter here again. Delete this, paste, press enter. Nothing happens. Okay, this is gonna be. Then I do just this, paste that, call it slick. No, you see, that's the problem. It's this app thingy. This app thingy is inside of this Go mod thing, which fuck things up. How can we do that? How can we? We can't. Do we need to make a Go mod? Let me do this and I'm gonna call it app, actually, to be honest, something very simple. Press enter inside of this thing. No, yeah, that's what we're gonna do. And if I press, okay, wait, you guys cannot see this because it's in my thing. Let me, because we Slick app. This is not Slick app. Oh, it, yeah, it thinks it's. That's annoying. That's annoying. That's annoying. That's annoying. That's annoying. That's annoying. Package name should be singular unless you have reasons. Yeah, Moshago. Yeah. That's what I'm thinking. Also, view, model, handler. Simple as that. Yeah. Yes, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna Yeah. Yeah. It's decided. Press enter. The problem is we are sitting in a Go mod file of Slick, but then we have an app with a main.go and nobody knows what the hell is going on. That's the problem. So we're gonna actually need to. We can use workspaces, yeah, but you never do that because of this bullshit. So what we're gonna do is actually we're not gonna do that. We're gonna delete this handler stuff. Actually, we will write it again. This view can stick. This model needs to go because it's not gonna work, right? We're gonna delete that. Also, this Go mod file. Because I don't want to hassle with these workspaces because the app is gonna be generated outside of the Slick scope, right? It's gonna be generated in your folder of your likings. Okay. Now we fuck things up big time, right? We don't have that. So we're gonna make this. Oh man, it's so annoying here. Handle profile. What I do is handle profile index, actually something like that. That's what I do. That's what we do in Levenue. Is we just call handle profile index, handle profile post, or so handle whatever. So you know exactly what kind of request this correlates with. Sounds weird, but sounds also simple. Fuck, now we actually we deleted this file, man. What an idiot am I. Error here. Let's close this. Return C render profile index where the users. Yeah, users profile user here. Normally this user is not going to be in the profile. That's going to be in the model section, right? Last name GG and then email. Can we save this? Can it's gonna work, man? What's going on? And then use it here, call it a day. That's a pointer, we don't want that. Press enter. Handlers doesn't exist anymore. Press this. Index. Press enter. Handle profile index. Call it a day. Next, what we need is basically paste again. Let's say we want to have some kind of a dashboard, right? Because I want to test the context setting values from inside of your middleware. So people can actually write what I call plugs or middleware, plug it into the system, and it can actually access the context. So you can use that all over the place, right? That's a very important aspect. So we're going to say handle dashboard, something like. We don't have that, so I'm gonna copy this whole thing, right? Paste it in here, save that. I'm gonna call this handle dashboards index, right? Context error, we don't need this. What we could do is return C render dashboard index with nothing in here for now. Press enter. What's this? Okay, we need to generate this real quick. Press enter. Save here. Save here again. We can't. Duplicate this. Call it dashboard. Press enter. Index. Press enter. Press enter. Beautiful. Why is this actually still? It's not included in your workspace. I know. We fucked it up, man. I'm so sorry. Go mod tidy. Is that a thing? Press save. It is. Cool. Fixed it. Okay, back to the framework actually. Back to Slick. Delete this because we need to have some middleware. How do we do this? Middleware. It's gonna be a slice. The question is, what is it gonna be? Are we just gonna use the handler for that? Because to be honest, are we gonna use? I don't like use here, to be honest. Why don't we use something like And also, by the way, we also need this render method because we're gonna rewrite this. Like I said, you could use actually wrap echo or wrap fiber or wrap gin. But the problem is we wanna also set some kind of a HTMX later on. HTMX specific headers in a more convenient way. Maybe something like that. You know what I mean? Some special snowflakes. I don't like that. Maybe we should use plug because you plug in middleware. Use middleware, plug middleware. I don't know. I like plug. Not quite sure why. Let's call this middlewares because we can actually plug in multiple handlers, right? The question what it is, how are we gonna do this? S.middleware equals append s middlewares. Is it like that? Can we do that? We can't. Wait, I have a good idea. I'm gonna delete this. I'm gonna say middlewares, press enter, and it's going to do it exactly for me because I have no clue. Something like that. Question what it is. Func with out C context. Yeah. Because why should a middleware not return an error, right? It can, right? Let's return C next, actually, to be honest. The problem is if you add the problem, yeah, Mosago, I know you. And I know you're a very idiomatic person, which makes a lot of sense, if I remember correctly. But the thing is that if we have a handler, we actually want to have this context, which is super important at all times. If we just have a handler here, a HTTP handler, and return HTTP handler. Wait. You mean, I know what you mean actually. You are completely right. I think you mean this. You could say something like we could I wanna give this a name. Type maybe a plug func handler. Is that what you mean? Can we do that? I already did this before, so I'm going to speak. It's a middleware. This is the framework I wrote so many years ago. Hey, where is my folder thing, man? What's going on here? Fucking GitHub new thing. Help. No. I don't have middleware. Where is this thing? Can I click this? Oh yeah, handler, exactly. Yeah, it's a plug. Yeah, slice. Yeah. Namings can be changed. Like I don't want to think a lot on how I wanna name these things because that's just a waste of time, isn't it? Plugs. Plug. Right. Yeah, middlewares. This is gonna work perfect. Mosahu, you're 100% right on this. I'm so sorry, guys. Wait, so we wanna without is gonna be Man, I need to a slick plug. I like this, I'm not gonna lie. Reminds me a little bit on Elixir. Elixir has the same thing, I guess. They have something like plug, which is the base HTTP framework they have, and then everything else like Phoenix and all that stuff is built on top of plug. And they also call middleware plug. I think I just like it because everybody's using middleware and they just use plug because you plug things in, which makes so much sense. And it's going to return a slick dot plug. I like that, right? So we're going to say here return func c context error. Is that true? I think it is, right? And then we need to say hc lost. So you need to return that. Why am I confused here? Wait, what's going on? I need to just need to what's going on? I'm actually wait, this is the same thing, man. I mean, what's going on? Wait, this is actually, it needs to return a slick plug. A slick plug is a function handler. Oh wait. So I'm so fucking confused that I have no clue where my head is. Let me quickly speak this because sometimes I'm confused. I don't have middlewares. Do I have fucking readme or something, please? Okay. Handler func, middlewares, handlers, super routing. Ja. Oh, hier. This is weird. This is not what we want. Full language goodbye. See ya, Brett. We all love you. Full language still making 50-60k a year. It's broke, to be honest. What's going on here? The simplest thing, and I can even fix it. Good job, thank you so much, Mad Maniac. It's this, man. What the hell? I'm fried. It's like context error. Yes. And then now we need to actually do something like I think we can do HC, right? Yes. Okay, so that is a simple thing. So now we have without, so we're gonna do some authentication, access whatever database we want, and we're gonna do that now. But first I'm gonna try to, I'm a little bit confused because I'm working in the slick scope, and then I have this garbage app folder where I'm testing things out, and it fucks me over. So how are we gonna do this? We built the context, right? Question about this. Oh, we have middle is. Let's call it MB. MW. I have no clue. I need to speak again. I want to think about this. Because there are some edge cases because you don't. This is, I don't think this is the correct way actually. So what we did before actually, we yeah, and then we need to do H, right? That's what we did. Huh? The question is this gonna work? This sounds like trickery to me, to be honest. Yeah, not convinced that this is the right way, because if we append in these things, so basically it means we append to put append, and if we loop, the first thing you use is going to be the first thing that actually is getting executed, in my opinion. Not quite sure this is going to work. Let me see. Yeah. I'm an app. You're an app, man. Yeah, you're an app. Let's do it actually. Localhost profile. Maybe we should actually use it, isn't it? Let's do it here. App plug without. So everything is going to be authenticated. That should kind of do the trick, yeah? Sounds pretty good, not gonna lie. Okay, so the next thing we want to do is we want to, with this without, we want to set something. So we're going to go back to the slick thing here. So what we're going to do, and then I'm going to take 2 minutes break here to answer some questions actually. Because I'm, so I can actually relax a bit, right? And then we're going to continue. And next week, there's going to be a dedicated video, right? Next week. What are we doing? I know. Context. Very important. Func. C. Pointer. Context. Set. Key. It's going to be a string. The value is going to be any, right? And we're going to use CT actually. Yeah, CTX is going to be context with value. CTX. Key val. It's like so obvious that I make a typo here and still I cannot see that. It's sometimes a human being is so complex, right? We are so smart, we're building rockets and all that stuff, and we can basically shoot fucking apples from each other's head, but the simple typo is just unseeable. It's like it's not there. I don't understand. So we're gonna copy this thing, paste it in, because this is gonna be a get, right? And we gonna delete all this here and then return C value key. Yeah. Is this framework inspired by other frameworks? Yes and no, exactly. As a master around, it's inspired by Ruby. I don't know. It's inspired by whatever we used in back in. So what you guys most of the time don't understand is if you're just in your 20s or something, you don't know how it was back in the days, man. Like it was actually at peace. Technology was at peace. There was no such thing as people bashing each other. Reddit was, I don't even know, it doesn't exist yet. You know what I mean? So there were forums, and you ask a simple question, you just copy paste it in a forum. Listen very carefully what I'm gonna say, because you are not gonna believe what I'm gonna tell you. Back in my day, I'm speaking 15, 20 years ago. 20 years ago. Oh yeah, 20 years ago. Am I that old? It's crazy. When I was just starting out learning PHP, because I needed to make a Counter-Strike clan page, you know what I mean? There were forums. And what we did is we copy-pasted our code, our spaghetti code, because we didn't know what OOP was, right? OOP was, ooh, we're not gonna touch that, that's too crazy. We can even barely make it work. So we copied our spaghetti code, we copied that, and we pasted that on the fucking forum, like, as it is. That means no indentation, no syntax highlighting, no nothing. A bunch of spaghetti code. But people there, they took the time to copy paste that into their editor and help you out. Can you imagine that? That was how we learned back in the day. That was how the community worked, tech community. No Primogen, no Tsoden, no others. Nobody was there. Everything was at pace, because whatever you did, whatever you pasted in these forums, it was all good. People didn't care. They just want to help you. They just want to. It was passionate programmers trying to enjoy their job, enjoy their stack, enjoy their hobby, and nobody cared. Everybody was just a friend. If you post an unintended shit on a Discord server or on Stack Overflow, you get fucking bashed, you get deleted, you get banned, you get humiliated in front of everybody else. People do not dare to ask questions anymore because they're gonna get bashed. Last night I got a message from somebody in my community, and he said, hey Anthony, I'm sorry that I needed to ask these stupid Docker questions. I feel like a moron. And I told that man, listen, it's fine. I do not know Docker either, right? It's fine. People will help you, and people will help. In my community, people are just helping, right? If I post a video on Reddit about something that I made in Go, or something I want to show out to people, something that I want to teach to people, some experience, I get bashed all the fucking time, guys. Can you imagine that? But they don't know, right? They don't fucking know. The first thing they say if I post a video is, you are so wrong in so many different ways. That's the first thing I get. And that's it. You are so wrong in so many different ways, I do not know where to start. That's what I get on Reddit. No further explanation. And I don't even ask a question, right? I don't even ask a question there. I provide value. That's the tech community today, right? Monsieur, yeah, indeed. He was struggling with Docker. Everybody's fucking struggling with Docker, right? We don't just ask and we help and it's fine. I don't know. I was not answering because I don't have no clue how to do it. So that's the thing, right? And back in the day, it doesn't matter. Every simple thing you posted was being cheered upon, but not now anymore. That feels, even in companies, right? How can you build confidence as a junior engineer if your lead developer is basically just bashing you, like the egocentric narcissist in the company? You know what I mean? I have an ego. I know my ego is very big, and sometimes I question myself if I was a narcissist, but it's not, because I questioned it. But I will never ever bash somebody based on questions or on stuff. You know what I mean? It's like, why? I don't even know why I'm talking about this, to be honest. What was the conversation actually about? You want to set the context. That's what we're doing. So wish Solidor. Now I'm at next role and people help you with anything. Literally, sometimes I think they're trolling me, but they are just great people and great engineers. I don't see myself moving out of next role. I don't know what next role is, but that seems a very good place to be, man. I think it's very important, especially if you want to learn. That's why I learned so fast, I think, maybe, and so young of an age, because we were free to do whatever we want, right? There is no such thing as people are bashing. So because right now, sometimes you are basically so afraid of posting or making something because, is this the right way? Is my folder structure okay? Is this TDD? Is this clean architecture? Is this fine? This global variable? But people always have a problem, no matter what you do, right? They always have. It's like, I don't understand what's going on, to be honest, but learning programming right now is the hardest thing that you can ever do, because they will fuck you over mentally, right? Because whatever you're gonna do, it's not gonna be fine. Whatever language you're gonna use, it's gonna be a bad language. Whatever framework you're gonna use, it's gonna be a bad framework. You know what I mean? You cannot do anything right in this time of technology. Why? Because I don't know. I think it's I don't know, people want to have attention or something. I don't know, maybe want to have a lot of subscribers. Me also, right? I want to have a lot of subscribers. I want to make a shit ton of money. Want to be rich, so I can basically wash myself in champagne and sniff coke all the fucking time. You know what I mean? It's like, but at least I'm trying to be honest. You know what I mean? I don't care if your global variable is if your DB is global. You know, if it works for you, it's fine, man. I just want to see you succeed building cool lab applications, right? Okay, so context set, context get, all good. Let me drink some water because I'm dry. I'm dying literally live on stream. Whatever you use, somebody will bash you. Exactly. It's cannot do. It's gonna be always bad. That's why I made this tweet, right? I made a tweet on Twitter and people were basically shocked. I said, if you want to learn programming, the best thing you can do is start isolating yourself from the community. And people did not actually understand what the fuck was going on. They had no clue what the hell are you telling us. Right? That does not mean that you can have a mentor, that you can learn from each other. It basically means that you go away from the fucking community because they're gonna bash you, right? They're gonna fucking bash and trash you, and you're gonna feel confused. In my opinion, actually, I don't think as a beginner programmer or a junior programmer, you, of course, in your job it's a little bit weird, but as you're learning, I think that you do not need to learn conventions and idioms of your language. Because at a certain point of time, you're gonna question yourself anyway, right? You're gonna question yourself anyway, because like back in the day when I was learning, it was like spaghetti code all over the fucking place, right? We didn't know OOP, but at a certain point of time, you're questioning yourself like, this code base is very hard, because if I need to change here, I'm basically spending my whole day refactoring. I need to change it everywhere. It's like, and then you're gonna learn it anyway. You're gonna search on the internet. You're gonna ask to people like, listen, how do we do this, man? It's like crazy. There should be another way, and that's how you learn, right? But people start directly in Next.js, right? They don't even learn program anymore. It's just like boom, they do 100 days of code and they jump into Next.js and they're gonna get hammered. They're gonna shoot themselves right in the liver. It's crazy, man. Day 12 of 100 days of code, and then you don't see them anymore. They basically just they just killed themselves. You know what I mean? It's done. They went one time to Stack Overflow. That was not a good idea. Then they went to Reddit. That was even a worse idea. And then they jumped into a Discord server and they got banned. Day 12 of days of 100 days of code. I'm going back to McDonald's. Bye. Oh man. No, Moss, why do you want to have this HTTP handler funk? Because we need this context, man. But then you need to we need the context. I swear to God, we need this special thing. Because HTTP handler, people are so in love with HTTP handler, but it's the most useless thing in the world. It does not. It gives you a response writer and a request. Okay. And where are my other stuff that I need? Where are my variables? Where are my params? Go standard library doesn't have params, right? It doesn't have has a decent router. Where is my render? Where is all my functions? Where is all my good stuff? It isn't. Also, a bit of the reason why Golang is very good for distributed systems. By the way, guys, if you want to see a very interesting stuff, check out this thing that I made. We are sitting at 470. You cannot see that. That's annoying. 470 stars. It's Hollywood. It's basically a distributed runtime, actor model runtime framework engine. It's insane. Check it. It's also in the Discord. I'm working on this pretty much every day. It's crazy. Why am I? Yeah, it's just useless. It's simple as that. This HTTP handler. Yeah. As you told at one of your videos, make it work, make it better, make it faster. Yeah. That's I learned that from one of my CTOs back in the day, because I was a little bit the same. I don't know if I already told that story, but I was working in Belgium at B Mobile, and I think I was a good engineer from myself, pretty confident, and my CTO was just learning Golang. Smart guy. And he was showing me some code he wrote, and the first thing I did was, hey man, but you could do this and yada yada. I was basically already trying to prove myself by not bashing his code, but trying to change stuff he made, because it could be a switch statement and it's better to do this and it's better to do that. You know what I mean? And he told, and he humbled me. He humbled me, man. And one of his words were, you first make it work, and then you make it better, and then you make it faster. The spiritus sanctus. And I basically was, how do you call it, flabbergasted, and I shut up. And I have respect for this man as of today, because it made a lot of sense. Yeah, Moshago, you need recursion to the loop middleware func list. I think we can actually loop backwards, to be honest. I think we can loop backwards, Moshago. Pretty sure we can. do we loop backwards? Don't you know how to loop backwards, Anthony? No. I don't. Because I never use it. When do I use it? Right now, actually. And I use it actually way too less to memorize it. If I really think about it, I should know how to write this. But I don't want to think about it, so I just copy paste it. You know what I mean? I think we should do this because there is a reason for that. So I'm gonna do S middlewares S. You only take the first function, yeah, that's true. I knew there something was sketchy with this, but now we fixed it, pretty sure. That's gonna be it. Let me do this. It should actually work, right? So we're talking too much and we're writing too less code, isn't it? AGG. Hello, problem with it. That should work. Let me test. First we're gonna test something else. First we're gonna test this, right? Back to the class. So we do. So this is our out handler, middleware, plug, whatever you want to call. So let's say we're gonna do s set the user or an authenticated user. Actually, it's too long. Out user. Let's actually, to be honest, user. It's fine. It's just an email. I just don't wanna hassle with a strict here. Janine at hr.com, something like that. So we're gonna set that here. Which is something beautiful we can do. We can go directly into our dashboard template. Because you think, oh, we need to fetch the user inside of our handler, in our dashboard handler, which is in main. Like I said, for the people that are just tuning in, we're gonna make this generated, right? So like, just like say, Rails new, React, npx, create React tab, yada, yada, yada. We wanna make this, but it's gonna expose the framework, it's gonna expose the helper functions, it's gonna expose everything you need. It's gonna have, it's gonna have everything, so you don't need to do anything. Isn't that amazing? Just press buttons and ship, you know? But you think you're gonna use a context here. That's what we actually do, right? For a long time. But now we can do it directly into this beautiful thing. So you could say hello dashboard page, and you could do something like this, right? If len. First of all, we need to do this. I know it's a little bit confusing. So for example, you could say email, because you can write goal line directly in your template. That's amazing, right? You could do, I think it's CTX value user, no email was it, right? And of course we need to cast it to a string. I know. And then you can say, first of all, let's test this. I think it's pretty sure it's CTX, to be honest. I'm not gonna lie. It was something. I need to check it out. Press enter. Pretty sure context is in here. But now I'm actually questioning myself and define email. We cannot assign values. That's the thing. You cannot assign values. Okay, I'm sorry. But you can do a lot of stuff, but you cannot assign values. Is what it is. You see all that generating and automatic rebuilding, we're gonna fix that, right? So we're gonna press enter. Fuck. Are we fucked? Oh yeah, this is the profile page. How can I do? I can't. This is amazing technology, man. It's insane. Dashboard, press enter. Yes, so we have Janine. So Janine is authenticated. Beautiful. So what we could do is, for example, you could say func out User email. I'm just coming up with stupid names because it's stupid what I'm doing, but I just want to showcase stuff, right? For example, func user email. Give it a CTX, which we don't need to import context because it's already imported. It's crazy, I know. String here. Just like that. Then we're gonna do this. Boom. Paste. Return this. What you could do is also do some checks, right? Because you're actually asserting to a string which can panic. So you can assert and then you can return a null string, an empty string. And then you could do, let me first check here, user email. I think we need CTX here. Rebuild this stuff. Templ generates, annoying that I need to do it. Boom. So it works the same thing, right? So now you could do something like if user email CTX. I do always this, bigger than 0, then we can do this, right? Render this template. I'm gonna show you that, how you can have layouts and all that stuff, component stuff. And I think we're also gonna expose basic components. That would be nice, that you can have all these input components, select and all that stuff directly from the framework to put in here. How is CTX accessible here? I'm missing something, exactly. Magic. Magic voodoo witchcraft. That's how it works. I think that's basically the only, and children, I think. I think children is also something. I need to double check. Something is also exposable. We need to check the docs, right, for that. And otherwise, we're gonna say we need to do an else, yeah. I don't know. Let's copy this, paste that in here. Delete inside the text, change inside text. I'm gonna call help, right? Something like that. Generate this again, and then press enter. Boom. It's authenticated, right? So if you go back to our middleware here, and we're gonna set, don't gonna set it. What's going on? I'm dying. Right.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, that's the thing that I'm talking about. Here. Yeah. That's the thing that I'm talking about. So you need to do something like that, right? Email. Okay. Is this if? Okay. Can we please return an empty string actually, right? This and then return email or something. Yeah. So now it should work actually. Okay, you see. So that's what I was saying. Like it's gonna panic if you assert something to a string, but it's not set, so it's gonna be panic, and yeah, so you need to do that, right? So help. Fine. What you could do something like Templ full email string, and then you could do something like h1 email, right? And then you could do this, I think, and then do something like add full users. You get the point, right? You can do why are you saving so much? Yeah, I know it's a tick. It's a tick. Nobody's perfect, eh? Isn't it? So you can see you can have style components, right? Like alert books, toast, panel. You know what I mean? Easy. Slick is private on GitHub. I know. I'm gonna make Slick in a couple of minutes. I'm gonna do it on the stream, right? The repository. All right. So from this perspective, why am I doing this? Because I'm trying to experiment a little bit to see what do we miss, right? What do we miss? I think if we start with the HTMX stuff, we might need to set some headers and to see how we could do that. But it's actually just returning stuff, right? Easy peasy. First thing I want to test is this. Let's make another plug, right? So what you could do, community made plugs, for example, func. Kill this with request with the yeah. Return C HC, and then we could do something like C set request ID. Yeah, random string, man. Actually, to be honest. Hey, easy, right? Let us be honest. With request ID, easy peasy. Let me see. In main niche. We also need to have groups and all that stuff, but I can easily code that off stream, guys. I can just ram that in like a maniac. Where is my my main for each? Let's do with request ID first. Press enter. Without, press enter, right? So what I want to do, I want to see if I can have the request ID in my dashboard here. Why not? FMT println seeds get request ID. Yeah, but actually what we should do is we should not do this. We should not. Should we make a header for that? Probably, right? We make a header set the request ID just like Rails. Like Rails does that. Alright. So what I want to do first is maybe print here real quick to see. Out. I want to test, right? To see what makes not gonna work. This one. Press enter. Shit. Are we in trouble? I will fix it later on, no worries. Press enter. Ooh. Moshago is right. He's the goat. Oh no, it's not. Wait. Attention sur place. Parlez français très bien. Request. Of course not. Moshago is right. He's always right. But I'm also right. Most of the time. Now it's gonna work. Yes. It works and I'm doing like it's all good, but I actually have no clue why. Because I don't think about it sometimes. Why this reverse thing and all that stuff. So sometimes if you leave it like that, accept that it's working like intended and leave it like that, right? All right. So what can we expect here, right? We can expect to have every functionality that all these other frameworks have because it's easy, right? Get, put, post, delete, and all that stuff. But I'm also going to add other things to make life more easier. For example, what we could do is something like each that we're going to say slick new or slick route user, and we press enter. Slick not found. Slack, slice, slug, slug, sick, click. And it's going to generate some folders, right? So it's going to generate. Yeah, I confirm, man. So it's going to generate, this is your project folder, right? So it's going to generate view. What the hell is that, man? I'm not the most artistic person, I don't know why. View. It's going to generate model. It's going to generate handler. Right. DB is something we need to discuss together in the next board meeting, you and me. How are we gonna fix that? Right, and if you generate a route, for example, then it's gonna basically create in the views an user index, right? It's gonna generate a struct for you here, but the thing is like, you know what I mean? User struct with nothing in it, it's just empty. And it's going to create you a user handler, a user index handler, right? So it's going to be a handle. I think it's nice to do that as a convention, handle user index or something, right? Of course, you can change that, all that stuff up, right? It doesn't really matter. Also subject to change, so it's going to generate all that stuff. What I'm also thinking is that working with these handlers could be nice, like we do here, right? Here in main. Handle dashboard index. But most of the time, you want to have your database access, right? And what I'm doing, even in 11U, I'm going to be completely honest, we use a global database. Yes, a global variable. You can call it a singleton. You know what I mean? Just like in the old days, like a singleton that was so good, you know what I mean? It's like dependency injection. Yeah, just a singleton DB easy. But I know that a lot of people do not like that, right? And we need to basically make something that's good on both sides of the spectrum. So ideally, you want to have, for example, a user handler, right? And your user handler is going to be a structure, right? With whatever you need. Why? Because it could be that you're going to have, for example, supa base client a struct, right? Could be that you have a client here, SB client pointed to a supa base client, right? You need that. So then you're gonna say and you have something like this handle, actually, to be honest, profile handler, because we handle a profile. Right, we handle a profile here. I'm just mocking things up, right, to show you some stuff. If you already cannot wait to get started, you can basically, when the stream is done, you can, I give you ideas, right? That's programming, right? Programming is having fun. You want to make something, you just try stuff out until it makes sense, until you feel, hey, I can use that. This is something I see myself using, and then you can implement that, right? Because if everybody's doing the same all the fucking time, and nobody is that's the same thing like science, right? Why back in the day you had Albert Einstein, Oppenheimer, and all these crazy smart-ass people, and they come up with the most crazy ideas and most crazy theories, quantum mechanics and blah blah blah, black holes, whatever, all this crazy stuff, right? But right now, scientists don't do that anymore. Why? Because they are afraid from each other. Because if you come today with a crazy, and I think in Joe Rogan is some good discussion about that. If you come today as a scientist with a new exploration of something, they're gonna bash you again. It's like in the tech community, right? You have something, they're gonna bash you. The same thing with science. They don't wanna come up with these cool experiments because people are gonna bash them. Some scientists, oh, I know we could maybe travel against the speed of light, for example, and then no, it's not possible, you're a fool, you know. And that's basically the same thing what happens sometimes, especially in Golang. People don't want to experiment too much because standard library. You know what I mean? The standard library. The standard library. All the fucking time. You know what I mean? The standard library is good, but HTTP, router, and all that bullshit is complete garbage, right? You know what I mean? All these frameworks are doing the same thing for 5 years. Anyway, so experimentation is key, and you not need to be afraid to show your stuff. No matter what people say, you're the bigger man. or woman, right? Okay, what the hell is going on here? Fucking strange. Should be fine. Actually, this music is fucking. Let's do some. That's better, man. Can somebody type 1 in the chat, please? That would be amazing. If somebody can type 1 in the chat. So we have this SB client. It's a little bit of dependency injection because this is a bad way to do that, but I'm going to show you. Also have a DB or something, right? So what you're going to do is this, right? I'm going to say H, maybe a pointer to a profile handle, whatever, like that, right? Handle, profile get index. Now you have access to your Superbase client if you want to have it, but then you need to make a profile here, right? Okay, one. Yeah, so I don't know. Sometimes it's this. Thank you very much, Pedro, for telling me 1. And now I know how much delay there is. And there is a shit ton of delay. Unless you're too slow, can also be. Like, for example, here, a P handler, yada yada, is going to be. And profile handler. We need a Superbase client, which we don't have. Actually, we do. Man, no. Oh yeah, it's SB client. Yeah, something like that, right? And then you can do this, ph handle profile index. You know. So the thing is, I like this more. The problem is, if you want to generate that, that's a little bit weird, right? Because where are you gonna generate these profile handlers? In handlers, Anthony. In handlers. That makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense. So we generate this profile handler in handlers. Boom, boom. Yes, that's it, right? That's the play. That's the play we could do. Of course, and then whatever you want to put inside of your profile handler, that's up to you. So let's say we do this. No, we can't because we have the stupid app, right? Yeah. Whatever. But you get the point, right? So we're going to generate this profile handler in handlers. And then you're going to do this, right? It's not going to be a profile handler. It's going to be a handler.profile handler, right? And then, boom. What we could do is make a constructor for that. Like this, func, new, profile handler. And we keep it empty, which is going to return this pointer. There's no need to have a pointer, by the way, so we can actually skip that. Do not confuse people. Actually, there is. There could be a reason why you want that. Or not. Let's say not. And then it's basically just like ph new profile handler, right? What's going on? I have one already. You stupid. Right. So let's say that's gonna get generated. Yeah, that's gonna get generated, and then it's up to you. Like, but Slick framework. I need a Superbase client. Okay, no problem. Then you just do an SB and Superbase client like that, right? Then you change this function here, SB, pointer to a Superbase client, right? And then SB client is gonna be this SB. That's good, but that's not the best, because in an ideal was building previous instead of using next. Ideally, you don't want to have the Superbase client in here, but that's nothing to do with a framework or something. It's just basically idiomatic Go. You delete this and you make it, this is going to be an interface, right? Dependency injection 101, super-based client, not good. Can be, but it's going to be an interface, right? Interface, boom. Or DB, interface, whatever. Just trying to, it's not going to be a pointer, just this, boom, boom, boom. Yeah, so you mean previous with this? Yeah, like I said, sometimes my B is not in my muscle memory for some fucking reason, so I don't use it for so many years. So I'm basically not the most efficient Vim user, especially not, right? I think I'm the most ineffective Vim user in the world. But yeah, it is like, try to change yourself after so many years, guys. That's impossible. So that's better, right? So this super-based client is an interface, so that's dependency injection, so test and everything is going to be a breeze because you can mock it like a maniac, right? What about using wire of fx for DI? This is completely garbage. If you use fx or DI, fx or wire for DI, you can basically just print a new copy of your resume instantly. There's no discussion. There's basically no discussion for using that. And a little bit a shame for the Uber team. I'm so sorry, but you're all garbage. Why? Because you even think about making a dependency injection framework for cooling. What the fuck? What are you thinking? Stop. That's the classic Java boys, right? They probably come from Java or from some other stupid language where all these factories and dependency injection container stuff going on. No. That's not going to happen. Super-based client. What am I doing here? It needs to be an interface. We can't, right? So, nope. Struct. Actually, to be honest. That's dependency injection, guys. I mean, there is no much more. There is no much more. I already made a video and still people cannot comprehend this. Because, okay, of course, it's going to be have some methods here, right? Of course, it's not going to be an any type. It's going to have some methods, right? Out, whatever it needs to do, you know what I mean? But now you have no dependency anymore. Yeah, you're dependent on a super-based client. No, I'm not, right? I have no dependency anymore. Yes, you are dependent on a super-based client. This is my super-based client, which is just a simple struct. You can put anything as you want. For example, authentication for super-based, something like this, out. Foo is a string. And it returns an error, right? That's the interface. Now everything is working, right? It's no problem, because the only thing I do here is func nope sb foo out, actually. String, actually foo. Return nil. And now everything is fine, right? So there's no dependency anymore. Your dependency is free. You're free from a hard-coded dependency, right? So what is DI FX framework gonna help you with that? It's like it's making so many things complex for no at all. Like what is this? Uber FX, right? FX, please. It makes no sense. I want to make a video about this, but it made so much no sense that I didn't wanna do it actually. Look at that. That's crazy. You start here. So the first thing they do, I saw this. What here? So you're gonna add a new HTTP server for a dependency. Why? Why? I mean, FX hook on start. Listen, and what is going on? What is this? You don't need this. So you provide this. Why? Why are you providing this thing to nothing? It's the main function, and you're adding complexity. I mean, chat, let me know, guys, please. Let me know. Let me know why this could make sense, please. Because I don't understand, and I'm like I said, it's not because I don't understand that it does not make sense. So I would love to have somebody right now here, 108 viewers, that can explain me why this is necessary, why this is revolutionary and everybody should use it. I cannot imagine that the Go community like this. I mean, this is anti-Go community in my opinion. I mean, hey, oh man. And then you need to provide and then you invoke it. Why? Why is that? So somebody asking a question of Java. What's wrong with Java? Not a fan. No, Java is a good language. The GVM. We just had a discussion about this on Discord. The GVM is just a beast of a machine, right? It's such a wonderful piece of optimized technology. Do not underestimate the GVM. And Java is Java. Java is a good language, but it's most of the time what the community comes up with, right? With all these practices and setters and getters, which makes no sense, in my opinion, because yeah, but you need a getter and a setter to make it private, so somebody cannot use it because it's not intended to be used. I mean, if your colleague is so retarded that he cannot use a public that he can misuse a public variable, I mean, hey, fire him and hire somebody else. Right? Hey. I could see private and public working in a library, because if you expose something to the whole world, which most likely have some retard in it, that's gonna fuck his code up and be depressed because he cannot debug it. I understand, but in a working environment, I don't know, man. A getter is only good if you're gonna get a variable and do something else before you return it. Yeah, Java runs on 69 billion devices, exactly. Java is, like I said, Java is amazing. Minecraft is written in Java, you know what I mean? Of course, they ported it to C++ because Microsoft, right? Let's be honest. Java is good. The language is also good, but it's the whole shenanigans. I mean, we at Lavenue we write Kotlin. I swear to God, which is kind of Java, right? It's insane. It's unreadable. It's an unreadable mess of small components that abstract each other. It's I don't understand. I really don't understand why they do that. Why they have an account service and then they wrap it with something else and then you need to go to 10,000 files to really understand what is going on. For no reason at all. That's the thing. But the language itself is good. I made games in Java. Easy. You can just do Java stuff and it's a fast language, actually, to be honest. I'm not gonna lie. It's a good ecosystem. But it's the way how companies attempt to write these things is just over the top, in my opinion. I mean, and you could say the same for C++ sometimes, right? Or from other languages. But that's my opinion. There will be people that gonna stick to their audience, and that's fine, right? That's free world. Okay, so let's continue here. Register a handler. So you have an echo handler. Okay, it's cool. That's gonna be a new. Yeah, that's fine. Perfectly fine. Pointer here. Yeah. Server handle. Okay, echo handler. Serve HTTP. This is They use serve HTTP as an example. This is already. I mean, it's easy to write web applications, but if you show this to a new user. Can you imagine that? Somebody's coming from just a junior programmer, a good one, right? Has written some JavaScript, has written some Python, wants to go to level up, wants to learn how to use this, wants to do an echo handler, which is basically just you make a request and it returns with the body or whatever. With what you send to it. And this is what you need to do. And then you get comments like Golang is poop. Yeah, of course it's poop. What the hell even is this? I mean, what the hell is this thing? Serve HTTP, a response writer and a request, that's fine. And then you have IO copy wr.body. What the hell is that? Nobody understands this. And then this if underscore r double semicolon shenanigans nil. I'm out of here. I'm back to Ruby on Rails. I swear to God, what is this even, man? Why don't you use Chi? Because Chi doesn't return nonlinear handlers, which is the biggest mistake they ever could make. Okay, so then we have this handler. Okay, and then we invoke. Guys, what is this? We need to invoke an empty function. Is this a joke? You need to invoke this. Yeah, this is what I see. It's complicated. We could write everything in just 3 lines of code, right? And you're done. Not 3 lines, but let's say 9 lines of code, and it was done. What did we just do? We added more component. This is complete garbage, guys. Please stop using this framework. Never use it. Never think about it. Delete it from your existence. Completely decouple your brain from ever reading this page for once and for all. From now on, it's complete garbage. That's not how it works. And it's made by Uber, man. Can you imagine how bored these guys are? How much free time they have? But I think it's going to be a bad day because they're firing everyone. And all these guys that wrote FX, all the guys that had time at Uber because they were overfunded, that had time to write this garbage calling library, they are all fired. You know what I mean? This is the first one that could go out. The Uber FX team? Yay! You're fired! Dag! Holy crap. Why are we looking at FX? It burns my eyes, guys. I swear to God. Man, I'm at this moment, I'm questioning my existence in life if I saw that. Holy crap. Holy shit. And Wire, I don't even want to... Dependency injection does not exist. It's a term that's invented by an evil person. Because the only thing that dependency injection actually means is I have an argument of a type and I need that type in my function. It's basically like, yeah. But the type you have is hard coded. So it's all, let's say you have a type of integer, but you cannot choose your integer. It needs to be 2. That's a dependency. And how do you inject that 2? By just providing 2 in the argument. But how can you free yourself from that dependency? Is by making it an int instead of a 2, but an int. So you can pass 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You know what I mean? And that's solved. And that's basically dependency injection. And all the rest is lying. Unless you can prove me wrong, right? So if you have, and there's the same thing with the Supabase client, right? The same thing with the Supabase client. If this had a pointer to a Supabase client, which is a concrete type, that's basically the 2. You cannot do 3, 4, or 5. It needs to be 2 at all times. It needs to be this pointer to that Supabase client. But if you make it an interface, you just told, hey, it can now be an int. It can now be a Supabase client interface, which is everything as long as it implements the outfoo function error return. Then it's good. That's dependency injection, and that's it. Simple as that. It has 4.7k stars on GitHub. Yes, and again, stars on GitHub means nothing because it's all about it's coming from Uber, right? If tomorrow Elon Musk is gonna tell the world that they are migrating from whatever they're using, I think it's Scala. If they are migrating from Scala to Python, everybody's going to use Python instantly. There's no doubt. If Twitch comes up with a new library, we use this crazy logging library in OCaml, because everybody's going to use that. It's going to instantly have 5k, 10k stars in a blink of a fucking eye. But is it good? Nobody cares. They just blindly star it, right? It just, oh, nice, Twitter. That should be good. Click. You know what I mean? It's the same thing with all this OCaml hype. It's crazy. I don't know. It's maybe it's a good language, but what the hell are you gonna do with it? You know what I mean? Are you gonna write a web app with that? Good luck. Good luck with your 20k years. I mean, hello. The only thing I like about app dependency injection is it made testing so easy. Well, this makes testing so easy, right? Because right now you can put anything in here, so there is no real problem. This is as loosely decoupled that it can ever be. You know what I mean? The only reason, and that's basically just, again, we're springing from here to there, from A to Z. Again, the only reason why Golang did not... But I used Golang and templating a lot, but not Templ, but just normal templates. But they are type and safe, right? For example... let me show you some stuff here, guys. In the private repository of Anthony JJ. It's going to be a private repository, actually, to be honest. Can I do this without problems? Tommy Shelby. As a zaaltrekker. Alright. Alright. So you're gonna have this thing, right? So you have this page here, right? Let me zoom in for the blind homies. Okay, so normal templating here, right? User.email. You have no type hints here. Of course, you don't have type hints, Anthony, because you are in the GitHub editor. I know, but even if this was VS Code and you do user dot, who the fuck knows what is user exposing? So you need to basically guess that it's email, and you also need to make sure on the other side, I'm going to commit this because I cannot commit that because there are no changes. Cancel changes, please. So even in your handler, you need to make sure because it's a map, right? This user, look at this. Handlers. It's nice. I think it's still better than using front end and back end. It's just you need to make sure that you don't make mistakes, which are easily happening, right? So you're returning a fiber. Wait, what is this thing? Error. Here, is this context, right? You're gonna show an account and you have this context. But this context is a map. It's gonna be problems, right? Because if you mistype it, there is no typing. It's not the best. But now with this Templ, right? With this Templ, okay, this is a questionable thing, right? This context thing is gonna be But I'm gonna use some. I know a way to fix that in the framework later on. But for example, this user here is basically it's typed, right? It's user dot, and you can see, okay, email. You cannot make a mistake, right? It has linting and all that stuff what you want, and even in your handler, it's the same thing. Where is this user guy here? God fucking damn it! What the hell are we doing? It's in main, man. Yeah, almost 2 hours streaming. That's why my brain is already completely somewhere else. Yeah, so you see, profile user. It's the type thing that you can directly render to your. Look at how beautiful this is. Render profile index user. It's amazing, right? Let us be honest. And you can have multiple things in your index file, whatever you want, right? Whatever you want. Easy peasy. And I think that's key. And if then somebody like me, like we, the community, the subset of the community, make something that abstracts it without losing too much of the Golang idioms, context. We're gonna keep the context stuff and all that thing, so we can be compatible if we want. It's beautiful, but because what else do we have? We have PHP, Laravel. It's nice, but it's not typed. Or you need extensions or something. I don't know. It's just and then with a lamp stack and then booting that up. It's not always that easy, right? It's deploying PHP. You could say, what are you talking about? But still, maybe with Docker or something. But Python. Python is good for these scripts, but Python in production, man, with all these dependencies again, how many problems do we have there with managing Python dependencies? Oh. Python error stack traces. Whew. Good language, but for big applications, I don't know, man. I don't know. Not statically typed unless you use something like black formatting or stuff or whatever. There are some new extensions, but still, not the same, guys. Let's be honest. Ruby on Rails, non-typed, very good. The only thing we have is Spring, but that's Java and TypeScript. But if you use Next.js or SvelteKit as a standalone, but still, man, holy crap-a-reno. Who wanna write TypeScript? It's very complex, TypeScript. SSL Tracker has more CSS than Go, is that? Is that true? Let me see. I don't think so. I think it's GitHub wrong interpretation of stuff. We made this live on stream, by the way. Holy crap, we have more CSS, but that's because we... Yeah. How is this even possible? What the hell's going on? Huh? Where is this coming from? Do we have npm or something? Oh yeah, I have this generated thing. I see what's going on. It's a tailwind thing. Can I oh, I can GG move. Look at that. That's insane. Is that true? Holy crap. Yeah, that's 3,800 lines of CSS. I mean, people don't understand that if you use React and all these yeah, but the ecosystem of JavaScript is so good. Yeah, but do you understand how much code there is in your code base? That's magically being minified and all that stuff, where you have no idea what it is, where you just npm install whatever the fuck you want without even knowing what you do. That's also the reason why we don't use a lot of we don't want to use a lot of JavaScript for Avenue, because we are getting, guys, it's something you need to understand. It's not getting told a lot on the internet, and this is very important. 112 viewers, keep this in mind. This is coming from a financial PSD2 regulated institution, Avenue. If you want to do something in fintech seriously, and you need to do audits, right? Security companies, you need to do that. Security companies, you're obligated for keeping your license. You're obligated for audits, right? I don't understand why nobody's telling you that, but and an audit means that you need to describe every single, and if you don't believe me, guys, Google it, or some people in the chat can maybe confirm that. But you need to describe every single dependency of your application, what you use, what version you use, and why you use it for. Everyone. Every single thing. So every single JavaScript dependency, you need to list. Everything. If you don't believe me, Google it. Ask to somebody else. We are using this package because of that. We're using that package because of this version number. You use npm and all that stuff, and you need to describe everything. So the more JavaScript stuff you use, the more dependencies you have, the more problems you can encounter, because they know everything. When you're going to check every potential vulnerability, and then, okay, this is too unsafe, so we need to have another repository, but all your app is depending on that, so you need to use something else, and you need to refactor it. It's just a mess. And you need to do these audits, I think, I don't know, we have different ones, but these big technicals once a year, maybe once or 2 times a year, to keep your license. And let's be honest, if you write Golang, it's very simple dependencies, right? It's very simple. You don't need a lot of dependencies. At least way less than if you do an npm install, right? Because that's open up the gate of raccoons. You know what I mean? React is overused. Well, React is a great piece of technology, right? React, but it's being shoved in your ass, right? It's being shoved. The thing is, like, all these companies you know as today, all these successful companies you know today are basically companies never started with React. They all used Ruby, PHP, or Django. Yeah, that's what they used. Everyone, GitHub, Shopify, Spotify, Twitch, Netflix, you name them. They all started with one of these frameworks. Twitter, for example, was Ruby on Rails. Yeah, they all started with that. But then these companies, they make so much money, they get overfunded. But I think Facebook really makes some money, so that's the thing. But they have big engineering teams. They basically hire juniors with good grades, and they basically listen. Facebook hires juniors with good grades, and they don't need to do anything at that company. They don't need to work. They can freewheel. They are open for creativity there, right? They have a team and they're making some kind of a package that they potentially could use to make their software more efficient. Not per se working on the Facebook app itself, but they're working on tooling and potential things, right? And that's how React. That's how React existed, right? And it's Facebook, they shove it in your ass, everybody's using it because Facebook is using it. You know what I mean? But they don't realize that Facebook had big issues you do not have, right? That's what happens with the tech, right? All the big companies, overfunded, way too much engineers, way too much free time, come up with a package, shove it in your ass, everybody accept it like the new meta, and call it a day. They don't even read it, they just, oh, that's nice, and they use it, right? Simple. And now what I need to do is, and a lot of others, I'm not the only one, teach the people back how it was back in the day, right? How we did that things. Very simple, one developer, one application, do logic, render HTML, call it a day. Oh, but you need some JavaScript? Then you just sprinkle some JavaScript. You know what I mean? You sprinkle some JavaScript. But now, with the coming of HTMX, you can sprinkle your JavaScript without sprinkling your JavaScript, right? You don't need to write these little sprinkles anymore because you can use HTML tags. But then my HTML looks weird. Okay, buddy. You know what I mean? Do I need to give you a pink ring? I mean, who cares? You know what I mean? Who the fuck gives a shit, right? Yeah. Who the fuck gives a shit? Nobody, right? Let's do the exercise here. Let's do the exercise with GitHub, right? Where am I, guys? Okay, here. So let's say you want to make the next GitHub. The first thing you're gonna do. What is the first thing you're gonna do? You're gonna do npx create next app or something. I don't know how it's called. Or npx svelte new vid, press enter, select. Do you want TypeScript? Yes. Do you want this? Yes. Do you want that? Yes. ESLint? Yes. Prettier? Yes. This thing that you never need and you don't know what it is? Yes. Maybe bad luck? Yes. And then it's the gates are open, like npm install. It's like the dumpster is, and you feel so much dopamine because you see your terminal is crazy, and your girlfriend comes, whoa man, you're a hacker, man, whoa, my boyfriend is a real engineer. But you're just pressing npm install, and okay, cool. So now you're gonna make your GitHub clone. Okay, but where is your JavaScript? Here. I mean, there's no need for JavaScript here, you know what I mean? Well, need to be very careful because you can do this with JavaScript, but or potentially with CSS. I don't know. But the thing is, like, these sprinkles are easy. I swear to God, you don't need JavaScript for this, right? So you click on issues here, no problem. You can render this. That's fine. Here is just tabs, no problem. You can even use templating, no big problem. If you really want to use HTMX and you just swap this content out, no problem, right? New draft security advisor, no JavaScript for that. Settings, no JavaScript for that. Need to be very careful that I don't basically expose Bitcoin private keys. I mean, where is the JavaScript here? I don't even think that they're using JavaScript. I think this is basically... So... you don't need it. It's simple as that, right? So do yourself a favor and you can basically build a whole GitHub in Go with simple Templ. With the Templ thing, easy, and some HTMX maybe if you want to... Like we did on the SSL tracker, I made a video about that where we just want to poll for re-invite something, what was it? A repoll or something, and you just do an HTMX request and call it a day, and then swap the inner HTML from the button and make it green or something and call it a fucking day, right? Sharik Ali caught the stream a bit late, no problem, because you can rewatch it without any problems later on. Wonderful that you caught onto this. The magic timing. Just last week, my company and I just finished supporting our entire site to HTMX Go Templ, and it's so much easier. Yeah, it is. And PM Fortnights. Yeah. Well, it's basically the same thing, but at compile time. But yeah, no. Oh my god, this is why I realized a lot of front-end devs are not learning how to be a real engineer. You really don't need a lot of GS. You don't need a lot of GS. Like, we are building Lavenue, guys. I swear to god, people don't believe it, but Lavenue, it's an 8 million fucking funded company. Although we do some fancy stuff there. We have some graphs and so, but there is some JavaScript there, right? We have some charts that are going to be rendered with JavaScript, of course, but does that mean that you need to use React just for that? No, of course not. You can just have some, like I said, have some sprinkles of JavaScript in there that just do that. No big of a deal. But most of the time, what is your application? What is your application if you think about that? Most of the time, a web application is just a wrapper around your database. And people come up with all this fancy stuff like, oh, look at that, this animation here and this animation there, and you need to have crazy tweening libraries and such, but nobody gives a shit about animations, man. That's something I learned in all my career of founding companies and failing companies, that users don't care, right? Engineers care. If engineers share websites with each other, engineers care about, oh, and this is nice, and look at this transition, and look at this, oh, this is a crazy CSS stuff, and wow, what a beautiful JavaScript, and what a beautiful, like, Notion. It's like, I don't really love to use Notion. I think it's just, it's hard. It's just too much stuff going on, you know what I mean? I think Notion is going to be one of the use case where you really maybe might want to use a front-end framework, to be honest, because you're very JavaScript dependent. But most of the time you don't need it, right? Most of the time you just don't need it. Because people don't care. They just want to... They have a problem, they want to look something up, they want to use something, they want to see something. Why they pay for because they pay for something. Like the same as Netflix. You pay for a Netflix, the only thing you fucking care is to see your fucking Walking Dead episode, or Vikings, or Game of Thrones. That's the only fucking thing you care about. You don't care about all these fancy buttons and look at this and JavaScript stuff, which is not JavaScript, but you know what I mean. You don't care. You just want to see something, you know what I mean? You don't give a shit. And if the only thing you care about, if you want to change the subtitles, that you directly can find it without too much transitions and, oh no, I just want to set it to English or Dutch or French or Espanol or Arabica. That's what users care about. But engineers are bored and they want to do fancy things, and I can't complain. I can understand them, right? Everything sounds great, but the job market is opposite. Wait, Patrick S. Everything sounds great, but job market is opposite, right? 20 job for Go Dev and 800 for a full stack with hype-driven tools. Cool. That's why we in Avenue we don't hire 800 full stacks, right? Because you filter out you also JavaScript and TypeScript. I don't really. It's a bit weird that I'm gonna say this, but I don't believe them anymore if they. How do I say that? There are very good engineers there, right? I don't get me wrong, but I know that if I post a Golang job instead of a JavaScript, TypeScript job, and most likely the quality of the Golang submissions are going to be much higher than the JavaScript submissions, because everybody did a bootcamp or yada yada. Nobody cares, right? That was one of my tips, right? If you have a bootcamp or something or a certificate, delete it from your resume, because that's the reason why you don't get hired. But I have so many certificates and bootcamps. Yeah, exactly. That's why you're still not hired. You know what I mean? Delete that stuff. Nobody cares about that. Sharik Ali, I definitely think it's part due to the false promise bootcamps sell to the students. They speedrun the basics into being a software engineer by dumping with easily learned JS framework. Correct, 100% agree. 100%. It's a scam, for sure, most of them. But JavaScript is nice, right? You need that. JavaScript is you need that, right? Don't bash on the languages. That's not what we want to do. And then I'm gonna tell this before I gonna probably wrap up the stream. Then off stream I'm gonna continue this framework. I'm gonna leave you also the GitHub link, and then next week I'm gonna make a video about that on how to use, and then people, whatever, you can help me build that or something. So basically, the people in the tech community, they think a little bit different, because there are two sides of the spectrum, right? You have the engineers, and you have people like maybe me, but I'm a bit on both sides of the spectrum because I was an engineer in the beginning. But you have company leaders, right? CTOs, CEOs, and you have engineers, right? And from an engineering perspective, you want to use cool stuff. You know what I mean? You wanna, because you're writing each and every single day the same fucking language over and over again. JavaScript, TypeScript, it doesn't even matter. It could be Golang, right? Golang, Python, all the same, the same. It sucks, right? After a couple, it's a job like just another, right? If you need to basically build walls each day, you need to code each day. People forget that. The same thing with playing games. And listen very carefully what I'm going through. If you play League of Legends for months and months and months, you're gonna get fried. And then playing World of Warcraft suddenly, or Modern Warfare, is gonna be a relief. So, oh yes, oh, I missed it so much, it's just so great. And it gives you a shot of dopamine. And oh, League of Legends is a salty game, man. Oh, full feeders, man. I'm not gonna play this. Well, that stupid game. It's not because it's a stupid game, because it's an amazing game, because it's one of the most successful games out there. But it's because you just played for so long, you're just cooked. You know what I mean? You're fried. So something else gives you dopamine. Same thing with programming, right? If you write 10 years of JavaScript, 10 years of Go, 10 years of whatever fucking language, and suddenly OCaml, oh man, OCaml, it's amazing, it's a breath of fresh air, man, pattern matching and all that cool stuff, yeah, with the prime gen and TJ. But or Rust or something else, right? It's just, oh, Rust is such a good language, it's just a breath of fresh air. But it's not. It's just because you're bored. Simple as it is. So that's why you want to use, oh, this T3 stack coming out, and we want to use Next. Oh, SvelteKit, we want to use SvelteKit. It's better. Next sucks. Next sucks. Does not suck. SvelteKit is just different, and some things are better, and you're gonna capitalize on that, and it's gonna give you shots of dopamine. That's how an engineer works. How a company leader works is, how can I build my product the most efficient way possible with the least amount of engineers? That's the only thing he cares about. How can I ship my features the fastest without as less engineers as possible? That's the only thing. Because when I started Avenue, I already wrote Golang like a maniac. But I wrote it myself. I was the only developer. You had Benjamin and you had me. We were two people. He was the brains, the businessman, and I was the engineer. And I chose Next.js because we needed to go fast. We needed to go fast, and we needed to hire, maybe potentially in the future, as much and more. We need to hire fast if we want. If the time's ripe, I need to hire fast. And how JavaScript, TypeScript sounded the most easiest way to get people in, right? But now things are changed, right? So now we are thinking like, okay, we have some stuff, we know what to do. We failed, we failed, we succeeded, we failed, we succeeded. We have feedback, because as you make a new application or a new project, you always know how it could work, but you never know how it should work, because the way how you know how it should work is by putting it out in the open and let users use it, because they are going to teach you over time how it should work. You know what I mean? It's an iterative process. So how you need to go fast from how I think it could work to how they think it should work. You know what I mean? And with all these technologies that basically requires you to have a DevOps team for your Kubernetes cluster. That's not necessary because microservices, you don't need them. Your front-end team for Next.js and SvelteKit, and then your back-end team for Go or something else. That's too much stuff. You know what I mean? That's why Ruby and all that stuff was so great in the beginning, because he had just one engineer and he could go like a maniac. You know what I mean? Just like a madman. And now you have Go, which is 10 times faster, more efficient. Everybody can read it, right? That's also important from a CTO perspective. Everybody can just read Go, right? It's so simple language. You know what I mean? It's easy to write, easy to learn. And in comparison to TypeScript or Python or something else, you can do crazy stuff in way crazy ways. People cannot understand it. And that you cannot do that in Golang. You can. It's just you have a for loop and that's it. You know. Making money is boring, guys. It's boring. That's why people are not rich, because it's way too boring for a very long time. It's always the same. Why am I jacked? Because I do boring things every single day. I eat the same every single day. In the morning, at lunch in the evening, and I go to the gym every single day. What exercise do you do? The same basic exercises every single day. Every single day. It's boring, I know, but that's the thing what you need to do. You know what I mean? Same thing with programming. Keep things boring, but keep doing them. But that being said, of course, guys, nobody's going, like right now, the job market is, the most jobs are basically indeed as a full stack developer, right? The Golang job market is not web dev most of the time. It's more backend APIs, more systems design, systems programming and all that stuff. Well, systems, cloud engineering. But I'm convinced with this new thing, if we can actually, but I need to have the courage to basically continue doing this stuff, to really have something that people can use, because this is half-baked shit, right? You know what I mean? People need to press a button. How do we get this great? How do we get Golang great for a web dev? Because I swear to God, I think it should be. It cannot. It's just easy. The type system, you just have one binary. You build your whole artifacts in a binary, so you don't need to have some folder on your system. You just build a binary and embed all your fucking artifacts and ship it. You know what I mean? And you just run it. You know what I mean? Just run this binary and your application is booted. It's just like, what the hell is that? You know what I mean? What language does this? No one. But people need to realize that they can just press a button, just like in Rails or in React, and it sets up their project. They have an idiomatic way to do stuff, an opinionated way to do stuff. They have some plugins and some tooling around it. That's the only way this can happen. Otherwise, they're still gonna keep using all these other frameworks, which are also nice because they're just more easier to use, right? Squat, bench, press, and deadlift. Exactly. That's the only thing you need to do, right? And all that other stuff are just like, cause all these fitness influencers, it's insane. They're all scamming you, right? Because they're pumping juice into their body, and then you can get jacked by just doing nothing, right? I mean, of course they train hard, right? Let us be honest. They train very hard, but I mean, it doesn't really matter. You just do compounds and that's it. Shadi Ali, gotta head out. Was nice catching you. Hang in there, everyone. Consistency over everything. True. Consistent. Doing boring things for a very long time. That's the only thing that's gonna work. The best language is the one that puts badge on your table. Conficus, I think that's Confucius. Confucius, that's true. That's actually true, right? That's actually true. Like, I wish, like, PHP, and I sometimes think, like, a lot of it should be nice to use. It's so easy, it's so... But then I tried to install it, and I was like, oh my goodness. Then I need to have this Docker container with all that bullshit in it, and oh, I was like, no, man. Please, no, why? And then it's downloading all, and this didn't work on my system, and that didn't work, and I needed to have this, and it's like, no. I think once you install it, it's gonna be pretty okay once everything works, but I was already, no, man, let's just leave it like this, because I'm not gonna have the types anyway, and I think typing is very important. And like I said before, there is no language that has this simplicity, which is typed, that can be used on the market, right? You don't have it. Rust, it's not for web dev, right? TypeScript, yeah, but that's TypeScript, yeah. Yes versus Python. What do you recommend after Golang? I think you first need to learn JavaScript and Python before you learn Golang, in my opinion, to be honest. That's your best bet. I think one of these simple languages, once you learn these, the rest is gonna be not a big of a deal, right? Once you learn how the web works. But that's much more difficult than in my time, because I rolled into this. You guys have a very hard time, most of the new developers, man, because when I started out, there was nothing, right? It was just PHP, a lamp stack. That's the only thing. That's the only thing you need to learn. Tooling, you just need to have a lamp stack. That's the only thing. MySQL, PHP, and that's it. And you needed to learn some CSS, which was Bootstrap back in the day, and that's it. And some JavaScript, jQuery. That was it. That was the only thing you needed to learn. From tooling also, you had Composer or something, whatever in PHP I can remember. That was it. Easy. And then and then back in the day you rolled into the rest, right? Then you had Angular and Backbone, and then Node came, and you have Node, and then you had Express, right? No big of a deal, Express, and then you had Vue, and then came React, but React was kind of a steep learning curve, so it was Vue, and then React, and then yeah, all these things came along the way. But now, boy oh boy, holy crap, what the hell is good? I think they need to learn that in school. I'm not gonna lie. I think instead of making these stupid Java classes, I think they really need to start learning and boarding students into this ecosystem of what happens in the industry, right? Because right now, even if you're a JavaScript expert or a programming genius, you're fucking screwed, because you need to learn all this tooling, right? Like Node.js, and then Next, and then deploying T3, and then what's going on? All this Rust and all this crazy stuff is happening in the scene, and it's gonna overwhelm you. You have no idea. You cannot be a specialist anymore. Back in the day, we were PHP specialists. You know what I mean? We were Python specialists, script kiddies. But right now you don't, because you write in all these fucking languages. It's insane. Yeah, then Docker, the same thing, right? Docker, you basically jump. Then Kubernetes. I rolled. I don't know them very well, but all these concepts, I rolled into them over the years. From writing spaghetti code to OOP to JavaScript to CSS to Bootstrap to Node.js, and gradually we learned all that stuff. You know what I mean? But now it's like walk. Now they basically smack you with a hammer and wish you the best. Where are you deploying your Go apps? DigitalOcean. We use a GitHub runner. You need to ask him. Ashton Reeve. He does that for me. We just do a push to master and it deploys on a DigitalOcean server. Easy. No Versal bullshit, no lambdas. Easy. Just a simple ask Ashton Reeve in Discord. In Discord, he's him. Ask him how he does that. It's just I think it's a private runner we run on our server or something. In a Docker container probably. I have no clue because he does that. And we just push to master and it deploys magically. Without these fancy things. Yeah, YAML, TOML, and now it's also all these configs, npm, yarn, all that stuff, right? How can you actually, like, then I'm gonna end the stream. So a friend of mine, he's a security agent, and he wants to chase the better life, right? He wants to be a software engineer, and he bought something. How do you call that? Like a course, a physical books being sent to him, and he can. Man, it was crazy. He needed to learn CSS, and then he needed to learn HTML, and they go step by step, right? They go like an H1 tag does this, and then you have a P tag, which is a paragraph, and then they're learning you to make a form, and you need to type in the form and then press submit, and then something else is gonna happen, and that's not even JavaScript, right? It's just HTML, right? It's just HTML. There's no backend framework, just HTML, and he was already like, oh man, what the hell is this? And it's only at HTML. How can you learn that? You can't, right? You cannot do that like this. You really need to go. You need to go just jump off a cliff, man, and just dive in head first. Like, you cannot learn this anymore, right? It's impossible. You need to, because even if he learns HTML and he learns JavaScript, then he needs to learn how to deploy that stuff, how command line terminals work, what tools you need to have, what npm is, what node modules is, and all. It's impossible. So he's never gonna be it. I cannot say it to him, but he's never gonna make it, man. He's just not gonna happen. And it's not because I'm a best friend, it's because I know how it is in the world, and it's not gonna happen. It's not gonna fucking happen. Even if he does this for 1 year or something, no, or 2 years, it's just not gonna happen. It's too much you need to learn. It's insane, guys. Of course, if you want to learn Golang, I have the full-time Golang course, guys, which is still, because I'm lazy, it's still at 60% off, because what's going on? I don't have this thing? Which is still 60% off because I'm lazy from the Black Friday sales, right? You can click it if you want to see what you can learn about. Do I need to buy this thing? What the hell is that? I want to see the curriculum, man. What's going on here? This sounds like scammer website. I'm gonna lie. This website is so fucking terrible. What is this? Who's buying from here? Look at this, guys. What the hell is this? Holy shit, man. Oh man. So you can see the full. So what are we doing is basically an introduction to Golang. Of course, the prerequisite is that you already know programming, right? If you never programmed in your life, this is not gonna be for you. But you need to at least program in some kind of a language, right? So we're gonna cover the introduction to Golang. Then we're gonna do some concurrency stuff because it's important. Then we're gonna build an hotel reservation JSON API backend. Then we're gonna build some microservices. I think 3 or 4 microservices with Apache Kafka and all that stuff. Then I'm gonna shit talk about how to land a job, and then you have the full-time. You have the mastering core blockchain development, which is more distributed stuff. So I can swear, if you after this course do not know how to write Golang, yeah, then programming is not gonna be for you, right? And very important is, I think I'm gonna add a new course on top of this, so the people that already have this will have it for free. And I'm still thinking it's gonna be something with distributed systems, but I think maybe we should make a complete project with HTMX. I think that's very popular. Like the SSL tracker thing, or something like a complete project with Stripe integration, like something really complete with database in thing. That's what I'm gonna add. I'm gonna make this probably in the holidays period, so it should be somewhere next year. It should be up. So if you wanna be a part of that, it's gonna be free for the full-time GoDev subscribers already, buyers already. But I think I'm also gonna deploy it separately with a smaller price tag, if you know what I mean, right? Some shameless self-plug. I think I can do that after 2 hours and 30 minutes of streaming, guys, giving you some value. So I'm gonna wrap it up because I need to pee. It's crazy. Thanks everyone for being here. Like I said, you can do me an enormous favor if you just subscribe to my channel. Jump into the Discord community, guys. If you have questions about this, yeah, let me first do this, to be honest. Let me make it. Why is there the sound off? Can we have some, I'm gonna push this real quick. Get, new repository. I'm gonna call it Slick. I don't know. We could. What's going on? GitHub, stop with all your JavaScript. Slick huge. Wait, how can we call this? Build. We're gonna figure it out. What needs to be there? License and all that stuff. Whatever, guys. We're gonna fix it later on. Slick here. Then I'm gonna do this here. Copy the remote add. Even Git, guys. Even my friend, he needs to know Git. Can you imagine? He also needs to learn Git and GitHub and all that stuff. And he needs to be on Twitter, because how he's gonna be influenced off. Holy crap, man. He's never gonna make it, man. He's never gonna make it, man. I cannot tell him. Who's gonna tell this guy? Who's gonna tell him? I'm gonna push everything we had, right? It doesn't really matter. We're gonna clean up things when it needs to be. What did we do? Git add the whole shebang. Git status. Is that true? It is. And then we do git push origin master. Right, boom. What the fuck is that? Time for some nicotine. What's going on? Git push origin master. I think I need time to stop. Git push origin master. What the hell's going on? I didn't need to commit, man. You see, my brain is completely fried actually here. Commit I am this one init initial, something like that. Origin master. Alright. Baby. Alright. Setup here. No guys, it's just me being completely retarded. If he does this every single day for hours and hours, he will eventually be there. Yeah, that's true, but let me show you something. I don't know, but let me show you something here. This is my Discord here, Eckerzent. Ah, he's not online. Okay, that's fine. He's not online. He's playing League of Legends all the time, right? You know what I mean? So hey, that's on him. Let us be honest, right? That's on him. Your friend should buy full-time GoDev. No, he cannot do anything with full-time GoDev because you need to be at least you need to know some language, right? Because I mean, yeah. Hey, this is an integer, and he doesn't even know what the hell. I suddenly need to type int in my arguments. What the hell's going on? You cannot comprehend that because it's statically typed. So Yeah. All right, guys. Thanks everyone for being here. Much appreciate. Love you all. I wish you a very good weekend. And like I said, check out the repository here. We're gonna build upon that, so we can have something cool. Right? Maybe it's gonna be something. Maybe it's not. We never know. We never know. We can only do our best, isn't it? Because I really want to do some HTMX stuff to show you guys. So that's gonna be for next week in the video. So I will make this a little bit more extensive, how you say that, a little bit more full of flesh, so we can so I can show you some stuff in HTMX, so you guys can using that for your project. You know what I mean? Anyway, how old are you? 37. 37, man. That's crazy. All right, guys, see ya. Thanks for watching.